Yes, you're welcome to today's edition of What's Trending Today. And then I'm still your anchor, Angela Himalayas, and you're welcome to Nation's Voice Tower. Yes, if you're just joining us, stay tuned for what we have for you today. Of course, it's no longer news that the Supreme Court has revoked the February 10th deadline for the collection of old Naira notes. Of course, that's no longer news. But right now, I want to show you a video of one of the governors of from the north that has always been on the lips of every Nigerian. I want to show you a video of his speech and then what he said. Of course, everybody knows this governor already. You're already guessing. I know you're guessing already. Now I want to show you what he said before the court revoked the February 10th deadline for the collection of old Naira notes. The reason for this right now is we want to critically analyze the reason why we think this February 10th deadline was revoked by the Supreme Court. All right, of course, we've been bringing updates to you, and if you've been following up, you will know that the APC government, especially APC politicians and APC governors, have been on this deadline thing for a very, very long time now. So, well, we'll say they've gotten their wish finally, but let's critically analyze so that you will listen and know why the court revoked whatever about the 10th February deadline. It's not really because the Nigerian government was taken to court. It's not really because the central bank was taken to court, I beg your pardon. But I would like us to analyze it gradually after this video. Now, I want you to watch Governor Nasir El-Rufai on the way he critically and calmly made his points, and then you hear him for the first time. People are saying he has done something good, of course, but he may have done something bad. No one knows. Watch the video. After watching this video, then we'll analyze critically on why the court revoked the February 10th deadline for collection of old Naira notes. Stay tuned.
The 36 state governors are supposed to meet with the president to discuss this. And our request is simple, and we are unanimous. All the 36 governors agree to this. That like every country in the world that has changed currency, let the old notes and the new notes be used side by side until such a time when all the old notes have been systematically drawn out of circulation. Nigeria is not the first country to do this. Saudi Arabia has changed its currency. For 7 years now, they still accept old notes. The only thing is that you will never see the old notes come out of a bank. Even a trader will not give you change in old notes because they have printed enough of the new notes and they are carefully and systematically withdrawing the old notes from circulation. The United Kingdom just got themselves a new king, King Charles. And they are changing their entire currency. From the coins to the notes, will all now have the picture, not of Queen Elizabeth, that has been there for more than 70 years, but that of King Charles. But from now till the end of time, if you go to England with a pound note with Queen Elizabeth, it will be accepted as legal tender and replaced with the new note. That is what every civilized country has done. Why is Nigeria doing this differently if there is no hidden agenda? Why are we expected to change 3 trillion in a matter of weeks? And then you print only 300 billion worth of notes. Unless you want to create a crisis. Why would you do it? We have done the best we can. But all the information available to us point to the fact that this was intentionally designed at this time to cause a major disruption in the lives of people, to bring commercial transactions to a halt, and ensure that the elections don't even take place.
Politicians should stop blowing dog whistle. And you see, these are their games. they link it to an event that still have emotional sentiments with people to be able to buy in the sentiment. There is no relation to what happened. What happened in June 12th was separate, was different. Because what also politicians would do, they would twist history to be able to suit their narrative, which is a lie. The CBN put in a policy, because I can see some of them being triumphant here, they've gotten a Supreme Court judgment, but the CBN put in a policy to be able to curb the menace in the economy that these same politicians caused themselves. When did the naira to the dollar go up? Was it after party primaries that politicians mopped up a lot of dollars? Wasn't a bank seen with over 258 million naira being stored, not released to the ATM machines because the money has been stored to politicians? Do politicians think that Nigerians don't see them when they drive to banks in the back and they give them big banner must go lumps? Isn't the ICPC investigating a couple of banks as regards to sabotage? We should never forget that the CBN is independent in the first place. They keep saying it's because of the hardship meted out on Nigerians. The question we should ask is it Nigerians that are going to take those billions from the banks? How much are Nigerians withdrawing? The CBN said in recent times that in Edo State alone, it's set over $1 billion. How much should Nigerians withdraw? Over 98% of Nigerians don't have up to 500,000 naira in their bank accounts. So it's Nigerians that are withdrawing over 100 to 150,000 naira a day, Abi? Do Nigerians withdraw up to that? See, if we want this country to work, we must set it on the path of integrity, OG. Politicians should stop this shenanigan. They've gotten what they wanted, they've gone to the Supreme Court and all of that. But the question is, it is the will of the Nigerian people that will mostly prevail.
Yes, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still Nation's Voice Tower, your favorite YouTube channel. And this is what's trending today, still coming on your screen. Yes, you've watched Governor Nasir El-Rufai and what he said that made, of course, the Supreme Court really have to take charge of that case and revoke the February 10th deadline. Now let us analyze it critically. Yes, of course, the masses have been in suffering for so long since this Naira saga began, or since the redesigning of the Naira notes. And then, well, I want you to agree with me that it's not only the masses that are suffering this, okay? Of course, those in power, those that hold power, the powers that be, also are suffering from this. And I think the rich ones, or those in the highest peak of the social strata, are those really suffering, those that have much money, yes, of course, are really suffering from the February 10th deadline. And that is why we think politicians and the wealthy people in the society in Nigeria alike have really taken it upon themselves to fight for the February 10th deadline. Now let us see it critically. Well, yes, it's no longer news. The state government actually dragged the federal government to court. First of all, listen carefully. The state government, of course, ably represented by 36 state governors, ably represented by 3 northern governors from the APC. Why is that the APC is spearheading this? Of course, President Muhammadu Buhari is still from the APC, all right? So why are people in his party still spearheading the court case that has to do with the policy that somebody from their party still enacted? There is a problem somewhere if you don't understand. Okay, that means plus or minus there might really be an issue in the APC camp. Let us go further. Right now, 3 northern governors actually came up to drag the federal government to court. Okay, yes, they were representing, or they were talking for the 36 state governors. All right, now let us take it from this side. Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State, Governor Bello Muhammad Mutawale of Zamfara State, and then Governor Yahaya Adoza Bello of Kogi State. These 3 northern governors are from the APC, surprisingly, right? Okay, they are from the APC, and they dragged, or they took, or they reported the federal government led by President Muhammadu Buhari, still from the APC, to the Supreme Court. Now, let us see it from this perspective. Of course, the Supreme Court has already directed the federal government to change the deadline on the old Naira notes. All right. Now, according to the section 232, which is the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, of course, it gives power to hear disputes between the federal government and the state government. We are not disputing that, all right? Well, especially on issues that pertain to legal rights, of course. Now, the question is this. This is where the critical question comes. Listen to this. This is where the critical question comes. What legal right of the state government is involved in the Naira notes redesign or the deadline for the new and old Naira notes? What legal rights really belonging to the state government is involved that warranted the state government to take the federal government to court or to report or to make the federal government appear in court? And these are parties, or these are governors that belong to the same party with the president of the country. All right, that means this is a house divided against itself. Now let us check if there are any legal rights. Now, some say it's hardship of the masses. Some say it is hardship of the masses that made the governors become so passionate that they had to take it upon themselves to drag President Muhammadu Buhari, the Central Bank of Nigeria, and the federal government to court. How well do our governors love us? Is it real? Is that serious? Okay, is it seriously trending, or is that seriously happening that our governors love us so much, especially those mentioned? They love us so much. Do the politicians love us so much? Let me use the politicians. Let me not use the governors, because they are good governors, all right? Yes, do the politicians really love us so much that they had to take it upon themselves to take or to drag the federal government, the Central Bank of Nigeria, to court? All right, now check it from this perspective, all right? What about the kidnappings, the insecurity that has been happening in Nigeria over time? Haven't these governors seen it enough for them to really drag the federal government to court? Number one question. They have to answer that. All right, I know you're answering it in your mind now. Haven't the governors seen enough of kidnaps from the north, enough of killings from the southeast, and enough of different forms of insecurity from the south? Enough of a high rate of robbery from the southwest? Haven't they seen enough for them to be able to report their fellow party statesman or their fellow party President Muhammadu Buhari, to report him to court or to drag him to the Supreme Court to address these issues with immediate effect? Haven't they seen enough of that? Or do you want them to kill the whole Nigerians before the state government drags the federal government to court? That's one. All right. Over time, there have been series of strikes, ASU, ASUP, and so on and so forth. Even doctors have gone on strike once. All right, over time. So hasn't the state government seen enough of strikes for them to also deem it fit to report or to drag the federal government to court? That's number two. All right. So if you check, if you have a very brief check, okay, you will see that no single state government has invoked the Section 232 or challenged President Muhammadu Buhari on such unmitigated hardship. Only the one that involves the redesigning of the Naira notes, especially when it concerns some days to the election come the 25th February. Why? Why? Well, it is something I wanted to check too, okay? Now, the Naira has been devalued over time, all right? When we came up in with this new APC government, of course, we knew how much the Naira was equal to the dollar, or equal to the euro, or equal to the pound sterling, all right? We knew what Naira equaled all those foreign currencies, okay? We knew how much Naira was equal to the dollars and what have you, all right? But right now, I think the dollars is ranking over 600 or 750 Naira now, all right? And then it is something unheard of. It is something unheard of, still under the watch of the APC government. Okay, why haven't other APC governors, other governors, or all the 36 states governors dragged the federal government to court over this? Are the masses not suffering from this too? I want you to take note of these questions I'm asking you, because of course they constitute the fact that when you look at what is happening, especially as it borders or as it concerns the redesigning of these Naira notes, you will see that there is a hidden motive, there is a hidden agenda, there is a personal kind of vendetta under this, all right? Why are the politicians spearheading this? Of course, they have much money and they are afraid, quite afraid to lose their billions and trillions of money. Okay, yes, I told you that if you look at it politically, you will know that the redesigning of this Naira notes was politically propagated. All right, yes. Well, I think we've analyzed enough for you, and I would like you to really pay attention and watch the analysis I just gave you and then give your own take on it. Of course, you have to drop your comment for us in the comment section. All right, I'll be back with more updates, but mind you, always get your PVC. Have your PVC. If you've not got your PVC, go get your PVC, because for good governance to thrive, it is by the vote of the people, and for the vote of the people to decide, it is by getting your PVC. All right, do one thing for me, just a little favor: like this video, share this video, and also subscribe to this channel. All right, because it is by doing this that YouTube gets to recommend our video to people all over the world and in Nigeria alike. All right, I'll be back with more political updates as time goes on. Peace out.